Imagine if you had built a magnetic, premium grade personal brand, you'd gone ahead and developed top 1% authority in your niche, and you had masses and masses of pre-sold, piping hot qualified leads flocking towards your offer. Now, this is exactly what my business helps online entrepreneurs achieve. But then, just when you think you're going to be finally raking it in, you think, I've made it, I've done it, I'm going to have infinite wealth, more money than I know what to do with, for some reason, you keep losing that sale at the last second. This is something that I see time and time again. And of course, it's really frustrating to say the very least. You've already done the hard work and the heavy lifting, and just when it was about to go through, everything seems to just fail. And so after going through all of this, dialing all of this in, it can really just make you feel like in the end it was all for nothing and it doesn't even matter. That's exactly why in this video I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix this. This is a massive leak in your pipeline. So let's go ahead and let's fix this issue of show-ups that don't seem to be following through once and for all. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my exact closing mechanism that works for me and for my clients. Now, this is a problem that I solved with somebody that I work with just the other day, because he was saying he was having a lot of problems with finally getting people to follow through. He's had no shortage of leads since dialing in the other aspects of his business since he's been working with me. So I'm showing you exactly what I did and exactly how that's been solved. So every great closing mechanism starts with the discovery call, of course. Now, the goal of the discovery call is simple. And not gonna lie, I don't think that people have that much of a problem with the discovery calls. You just jump on, you determine whether or not the lead is qualified or not. If they are qualified, then what you're gonna wanna do is get as much information on them as possible. And so the intention is to get them to agree to us making them a free action plan roadmap audit to present on a second call. This is infinitely better than going ahead and giving a lead magnet just for doing the first call, okay? Because this means that you can not only put in more effort on the lead magnet because you've identified whether or not the person's worth giving it for, but you're not going to be wasting time up front. So if you have someone book a call and you determine that they're not really right for the service that you're going to offer them, you can just not do the roadmap, action plan, audit, whatever it is that you do specifically, and you can save yourself a bunch of times. And of course, with my marketing consulting business, these are the areas of information that I'm always looking to collect on a discovery call. Now, for you, this may, of course, be slightly different based on the niche that you're in, based on the pain points that you are solving. So obviously change these around as you see fit. But the point is, you just want to make sure that you've got illustrated the bits of information that you need, because the last thing that you want to do on a discovery call where you're just like having a nice conversation and building some goodwill, but by the time you get off that call you're like, wait, shit, I don't actually know anything about this person. That's not good. We don't want to be in that position. So after we have done the discovery call, we've built some goodwill, we've got the information that we need to do this, we're going to basically build out this roadmap, this lead magnet, and we're going to present this on the sales call. So that's going to be the second call that we have. We're going to get them to agree to doing this on the discovery call. What we are going to want to do is we're going to want to highlight the problems that our lead has so that we show them that we know the pains that they're dealing with. We're going to offer them some specific advice, so something actually useful on how to resolve those pains. And we're going to find that, of course, that the lead is going to either want more of that kind of service that we've given them through this free kind of sample, and they're going to want help with the implementation, so they're going to buy into our offer, or they can just take this and go on their way. Because this is the thing, just because somebody does not buy does not mean it's the end of the world. If anything, you are getting data, because you're literally sitting down on a call with someone in your market and understanding what their problems are. You're basically getting to interview them. It's free market research, it's free data, and some of the best data that you can get. Of course, we are maximizing the chances that they will go ahead and buy with this system, but if they don't, it's still data. So the kind of content that we're going to want to cover in this document, I've basically ripped this straight out of my company's SOP folder. So first of all, we're going to want to have an idea of the core constraint. So this could be exactly what the prospect thought it was, and that kind of confirms their suspicions, which is good. Or it can be something completely different that they didn't see and it was a blind spot. But we're going to want to make sure that we identify the core constraint, and that's going to lead the rest of the document. After that, we're going to want to go on to a reasoning. So we want to basically review why the constraints within the business exist. Of course, the reasoning is going to be different for each person, but obviously it's always going to feed back into the idea that, you know, they could use our services to help alleviate that problem. That's what we're going to be wanting to really highlight with the reasoning there. And after we've explained why the problems exist, we're going to want to suggest the fact that it can be resolved with a resolution. That's going to be the third thing that we want to really make sure that we're covering in this free document that we're going to give them. So we're going to make sure that we're conveying the outcomes of fixing the constraints, the bottlenecks, and we're going to basically highlight the benefits and the possible transformation. So we're not going to go into detail about like how we can do that, because that's for later on. But what we're going to really want to emphasize with this is just show them that it can be done. We're going to communicate that we can fix these problems that exist, and that's something that we are capable of doing for them. I want to make sure that I'm stressing that you leave the admin for the onboarding call. There are so many people that get onto a second call or a sales call, and what they do is basically they go ahead and review like all of the, so let's say it's an info product, and you've obviously got like lots of different courses and modules or something inside of a program. What they're going to do is basically review each of those modules and tell you like what you're getting and stuff. But no one cares, okay? No one cares about admin. What you should be focusing on is the benefits and the transformation on the sales call, because that's what's going to get people to buy. As Clyde Bedell puts it in his Raw Materials of All Good Selling, we want to make sure that we are focusing on the benefits, because people only buy to get benefits. Now, a disclaimer for this roadmap stage is that we do not want to give them complete advice, because first of all, you don't have the room to do that, and second of all, this is where you start to lose people. If you give them too much stuff, they're going to think, oh yeah, I can just take this and I can do it myself. This was a problem that my client had because he was basically giving people too much stuff to the point where it wasn't really supporting the narrative that if they were to buy from him and get the help with the implementation, they would be better off. They thought, oh, I'm getting all of this information for free, I can just try this myself, and then obviously they leave and they never come back. Now, of course, theoretically, you could just give them that stuff for free and wait for them to take it and go and fail, because as we know, they're not getting the experts' advice and the connection with us to help them implement. This isn't sustainable for your business. You can't just run your business based off giving people free stuff, expecting them to leave and fail and then come back. That's like so terrible. What kind of cash flow system is that? It's so unsustainable and unreliable. That's not the kind of position that we want to be putting ourselves in, is it? The point of this stage is to show that we understand their pains and we are capable of solving them. That is the most important thing. That is the point of this. It is not to basically give them all of our stuff for free. That's ridiculous. That's unsustainable. And if they are a rational human being, they will understand that. But give them just enough so they kind of see it and go, wow, this makes sense. I can actually get something out of this, and I can use this as a point of reference. If this is what you're giving me now for free of charge, then man, it makes sense for me to go ahead and make the commitment to get even more of this kind of quality. Because think of it like this. Let's say that you're getting a fragrance or perfume sample, or like an expensive wine sample or something. Obviously, people get samples to try things out before they go ahead and make the full commitment and buy one of these full bottles, because both of these kinds of products, obviously buying one bottle is very, very expensive. And if you don't like it, you're basically going to be stuck with having bought this really expensive bottle and you don't know what to do with it because you don't want to use it. These companies can't just give away entire bottles for free. Obviously, it's really unsustainable because of how expensive and how much resources go into those products individually. Giving away entire full products is not sustainable, so they don't do that. And it's the same kind of deal for you, don't do it. Now, while we are on the topic of the roadmap stage, I just wanted to let you know that me and my team right now are currently giving away complete marketing and sales audits. So same kind of thing as what we were just talking about. And this is an example of a great roadmap / actionable plan / audit stage, because they are actually extremely valuable. This is because you're going to get a full pipeline and brand breakdown from us. So that's expert eyes from the outside. You're going to know exactly the areas that you need to double down on so that you can break through whatever current revenue ceiling that you're hitting. And so you can basically skip like months and months of trial and error, because what we're going to do is we'll get this through to you in 72 hours. Now, of course, since I'm being very transparent in this video, and considering that I've just gone ahead and explained to you kind of the methodology of why we do this kind of thing for the conversion mechanism, so you kind of know what I'm doing in a sense. Like, you are aware that we have a vested interest here, okay? Obviously, it'd be really cool if you got this, saw some value in it, and you were qualified, and wanted to move forward with working with me and my business. But the point is this. We would hope that the sheer value of what we're giving away to you is going to actually compel you to take that next step. So if you want to take advantage of this free, literally no money required, no commitment required, basically just go down to the link in the description of this video. You can jump on a quick call with me. Yes, me personally, not a member of my team, not a setter. So I wouldn't want you getting on a call with some random person you don't know. You can apply to get one of these for absolutely free, sent to you within 72 hours. So here we go again. Just make sure to go down, check the link in the description, and claim one for yourself. Now, I know that I'm hyping these audits up a lot, and I'm doing it for a good reason. What is in these documents actually changes lives, and I can promise you that. So why would I give something away that's so valuable for no money? Well, it's because why the hell not? I've not seen anybody else in my space, or parallel spaces I should say, because I'm kind of a niche of one, not gonna lie, do this kind of thing for free. So why don't I be the first? And to me, it's a display of confidence that I've not seen anybody else move with. But the last thing I'm gonna say about it is this. I physically cannot give these away forever, and so I absolutely will take this offer off the table the second it starts eating into my company's sustainability, which, by the looks of things, is not going to be a very long time away. Okay, so I don't even need to hype this up with a value stack or anything. You should already know that this is insanely valuable. Check the link in the description, jump on a call with me, apply to get one for yourself. Okay, so as you can see, we are still on the sales call here. This is now going to be moving into closing the sale. So this is after we've presented the roadmap document to the prospect. We're going to be moving forward to actually closing the sale. So this is where a lot of people have a problem. So you're going to want to basically convey the dream state. So that is the ideal situation that your prospect finds himself in after moving forward with you, emphasizing that the transformation is possible, it can be done, and that you are the only logical solution that can help deliver them onto that dream state. You're going to basically want to say something like this. Wouldn't you say that having benefits would help you achieve goal? Obviously, you would have learned the goal from the discovery call faster. And obviously, they're going to say, well, yeah, because it will. And you can say, okay, that's great. I'd love to help you with that because I do this, this, and this. So actually a side note about when it comes to achieving the goal. So when you're on the discovery call and you can really just kind of talk to people and understand where they're coming from and why it is that they want to achieve X, Y, and Z, if you just ask people what their goals in life are, they'll tell you. Just ask, okay? If you're dealing with somebody that's like a young hustler and he just wants to make a load of money and there are things in his way that's stopping him from making that money and, you know, becoming his family's first millionaire and being able to, you know, make a name for himself or whatever, well, you can find that out and you can leverage that in this situation, because then it's not just about increasing their revenue with their business. It's about, you know, making the kind of money that actually makes their parents proud or something like that. So you can always go way deeper. Now, this is a critical part of this. You do not want to give any room for doubt. None. And this is simply because 99% of the time, if we are left to think on something, we are going to overthink it. And then when we overthink it, we end up overcomplicating it, and then we just go ahead and don't do the thing at all, even if doing that thing is the best thing that we could do in that situation. So let me come up with a really easy example here that is going to hit you close to home. Let's say back when you were in school and you had that girl that you had a crush on, okay? And you think to yourself, man, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go and ask her, she's right there, I'm going to ask her out. And then you overthink it. Oh, what if she says no? Oh, what if this? What if that? And then you don't do it. And then you miss out. You know, it could have been that if you had gone ahead and asked her out, she would have said yes. So now you've missed out because you didn't do the thing, because you sat there overthinking, okay? Let's be honest. If what we can offer our prospect is the best possible thing that's going to take them to that dream state, then we don't want them overthinking it, because if they don't do it and they don't make that decision, then they're not going to do the thing that's best for them. That's what we want at the end of the day. If what we offer is not a scam and it's a genuinely good service, then if they were to work with us, that would be the best thing. We are actually doing them a disservice if we leave them any room for doubting and overthinking. This is something that my client decided was fitting to basically put into the conversion mechanism. It's 1.5k, that's how much his program costs. But if you decide now, you can get it for 1,000 instead. So that's like $500 off. And this works because it actively rewards a quick decision, because people are like, oh, I actually get to save like $500 if I just say yes now instead of going ahead and doubting on it. So it really gets them whilst, you know, the dopamine is high, the novelty, the excitement of discovering this thing that they can invest in is there, and it takes advantage of that. And it also prevents them from leaving, going ahead and overthinking, and then not paying and not getting into the service, which is bad for you because obviously cash flow and that's a lost customer, and it's bad for them because they're missing out on benefits. Do you see how much better of an approach this all is? Because what you're doing is you actually provided something useful up front with the roadmap document. You actually showed that you understand the prospect's pains and can solve them, which is so important. People just want to know that they are understood, and that is going to build so much trust and goodwill with you. And of course, it nicely transitions into that natural next step, because you gave them a level of really good service that they've like sampled, kind of like I said earlier, like sampling a fragrance, really liking it, sampling a wine, really liking it. And then it's like, okay, well, the next step is obviously I'm going to spend a bit more money to get the full bottle, right? I want to get the extra help, the extra implementation. I want to make sure that I'm getting the most out of this offer while it's still there. I have this here's just one sample that I've got. I got this ages ago. This is a Mont Blanc Black Meisterstück Eau de Parfum. And I got this ages ago. And I used to have another one of these, actually. I got 2 samples given to me. Anyway, because as you can see how small this is, it's not going to last long. So if you want to be basically going out there and, making everybody fall over you with how good you smell, well, there's only so many uses you can get out of this tiny, tiny thing. And such is the same with that free document, that free bit of service that we gave them. But if they want to be getting, obviously, consistent results, constantly getting those benefits, every party they go to, everybody falls over them, everybody's giving them compliments, well, there's only so many times you can use this before it kind of runs out. So naturally what they're going to do is they're going to buy the full bottle, and it's a natural next step. Makes sense, right? So bang, you're going to get the deal because this freaking works. After you've done all of this, so as you can see, that's just a sales call there, ends. You're going to book another call on the sales call after getting that yes, after getting the payment, hopefully a paid in full PIF. That would be great. And what you're going to do is you're going to book the onboarding call. Now, the onboarding call is where you're going to go over the admin. So that's when you're going to show people inside, be like, yo, what's up? This is how it works. This is what you've got. Everything, breaking it down, how to use it, how to get the benefits. You do that on the onboarding call, okay? Please do not do this. Do not give them admin on a sales call. They don't care about admin. They want to know what they get. They don't care about how it's going to work. They just want to know whether it's going to work, and when they've got that confirmed and they make the purchase, then they want to know how it works, okay? The how comes afterwards. It always comes afterwards in every situation. Book that on the sales call. And that, my friend, is how you stop hot leads from not following through. I guarantee that if you implement this, you're going to see that your pipeline is no longer leaking, it's patched up, and it's working really nicely. And from there on out, it's happy days, okay? You've left a good impression, you've given a good service, and people are going to be like, wow, I really see the value in this, and they're going to make that next step. Also, I should add, like, after you've made such a good impression, like, that's going to be working wonders for that long-term retention, okay? Because they're going to remember that you've done this. They're going to remember the effort that you put in, and people are going to be like, whoa, you know, I should stay with this guy. It's kind of like in relationships, right? You do a lot for the other person at the start, and they're kind of like, hey, this guy's really, really committed and serious. Maybe I should stay with him in the long term. Thank you for getting to the end. I hope you found this really useful, and make sure to go ahead and implement this. If you want some help with actually implementing this mechanism, then of course be sure, remember that there is that link in the description. You can book a call and apply to work with me and get yourself one of those life-changing free marketing, sales, brand strategy audits. They are so worth it. Go ahead and check the link out in the description. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.